Well, the last Soviet leader, Mikhail Gorbachev, has died at the age of 91. Mr. Gorbachev came into power in 1985, was recognized for opening up the USSR, for his reconciliation with the West and ending the Cold War, but he was unable to prevent his country from collapsing in 91. The hospital where Gorbachev died said he had been suffering from a long and serious illness, but that is all they wish to report about that.
Yeah. He was the perestroika guy. Mm-hmm. It was the first time ever. It was kind of like, oh, there's someone semi-reasonable is doing in some position of power somewhere.
Now, I'm glad you're sitting because Putin thought that Gorbachev was a disgrace.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's the chef's kiss of approval. You know you're doing a good job when Putin hates you. You have to worry when Putin hangs on every word and falls in love with you.
When he sends Dennis Rodman over to do some business.
That's a bad thing.
Well, Brian reminded us the other day that, first of all, I didn't know that Gorbachev was still alive.
No, a lot of people didn't.
Yeah. Might be time to pull out another Dead or Alive game because this one surprised me.
I would have said this, but they're the last crazy white people on the planet.
The Russians?
Yeah, there's no other. We used to have a lot of crazy whites, you know, throughout the ages and history, and
a lot of colonizers.
Kind of, but we turned them into honeybees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What happened?
Yeah, the Scandinavians settled down.
Yeah, the Vikings,
you know,
the Visigoths.
now they're just like completely, what's going on, man? You're cool. It's
Flurgen.
Yeah, there's like a lot of fucking battle axes and Vikings, and now we got IKEA and
helmets
and Volvos and stuff. Like they've settled in. Russia, what's up? You're the last.
They're the holdout.
The fucking holdout whiteys. They're the last crazy white people on the planet.
That's a very good point.
That's all we got left.
There are other cultures, white cultures. You know, they drink a little too much or they whatever. But these are the last full blown fucking violent, nutty, crazy white people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
What if they like that distinction?
I was going to say, if something happens to them, if they got their shit together, does that make us the last crazy white people on the planet?
We might inherit the throne.
Oh, shit.
Well, it ain't going to be Sweden. It's probably not going to be Canada. I mean, we're going to have to take a long look in the mirror.
I think we're a couple school shootings away from being considered.
We could be it.
The most craziest.
Maybe they should keep it up.
That's right.
Brian's
That's
right.
a very good point. Mm-hmm. So this, you may have heard of this woman. It's been passed around on social media a lot the last few days. A judge in Saudi Arabia has sentenced a woman to 45 years in prison for the crime of using social media. Her name is Noura bint Saeed al-Qahtani. She was charged with damaging the country through her social media activity, but officials have not provided any details about what exactly she damaged. The court's charge sheet claims that she's guilty of disrupting the cohesion of society and destabilizing the social fabric. Last year, a 34-year-old woman was sentenced to 34 years in prison for criticizing the kingdom on Twitter and calling for equal rights. Saudi Arabia
I don't know how the Saudi Arabian prison scene, but you don't get much cred in the joint when was a Twitter offense.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you want cop killer.
Yeah, what are you in for?
I used Facebook.
TikToking too hard.
Yeah.
45 years, what a light sentence, though, you know? This bitch should have been put away for life.
That's right. Well, women only gained the right to drive and go in public without an escort, a male escort, in the last couple of years.
As they should.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, your dad's all for that.
Yeah, right.
I don't even know how I got here today.
First off, you want women to drive so they can leave. You know what I mean?
Never when I'm drinking.
Well, I mean, wait till you have a couple of kids and they're 16. Like, I'm sitting around with my son. I'm going, hey, get your driver's license. I'm good. No, get it. No, I'm good. Don't worry. I'm not worried about you. I need you to leave.
Worry about me.
Yes.
My mental health.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but that's a pretty lofty, like that's some Game of Thrones shit. Disrupting the cohesion of society and destabilizing the social fabric.
Those countries that do not, look, no driver's license for the ladies, whatever these cultures are, and they don't golf. You can't get away from your bitch for 10 minutes. It's a horrible.
She wants to go out. You have to go with her.
Yeah, you want the best societies are. I'm going golfing for 3 days. You go drive around the block.
Yeah, do whatever.
But they don't even have fantasy football.
Oh my God, Brian!
What a shanda.
Oh my God, they probably don't. Brian's probably right.
Probably not.
They probably don't.
Julian Edelman join us by the way tomorrow, so that'll be good. But what year is it? I know I keep saying that. What year is it? Wasn't this? We're gonna cure. I don't know. Wasn't the computer gonna fix everything or something?
This feels very days of yore.
It's also like, there's human trafficking coming in from south of the border, and then she's in jail for 45 years for sending out a rogue tweet. Like,
That's
what
crazy.
year is it around here?
Well, and speaking of that, I just watched this long-form interview with this girl who's, well, she was now at UCLA, but she escaped from North Korea, and gory details. But like, they don't have internet. Like you can be imprisoned for not getting one of the 18 approved haircuts. We've all heard that. That's the staged like scene that happens when you're a visitor. You're only allowed to go down the main path, and they're like, and action. The buildings are empty.
The storefronts,
the people are starving.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say her father got put in a work camp for the rest of his life because of black market trading. He was trading some actual glass to get rice for his kids. So they don't even want their own people eating. He was in prison. And the other rule that I have to double check that this is real because this is too insane. It's to, I think, de-incentivize leaving. If they find out you left and you're out, they will kill your whole family. So to de-incentivize you from leaving.
Where's this?
North Korea.
What if you hate your family?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's perfect crime.
All right, so can we do this? Can we mobilize all the crazy bitches whenever they do the Million Woman March because they're worried about the transgender community here? Can we get some of their ire, start a letter writing campaign or something and focus it abroad, pardon the pun, just a little bit of the people that are actually getting fucking acid thrown in their faces for reading a book? Like, can we do that?
Yeah, it's not that bad here when you look at the news.
No,
you know?
And I mean, there's a lot of that, but not when it comes to the armchair work that we all are so excited about. We don't really talk about this stuff.
I'm just saying, anyone who had the knitted pussy hat on and was listening to Madonna screaming about blowing up the White House 5 years ago, why don't you take some of your asses and focus it on, let's go international.
Yeah,
there's a war on pronouns here, and there's women going to jail for 45 fucking years in Saudi Arabia.
Expand your reach.
Yeah,
yes.
Diversify.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about.
I will say, look, we need to just in general sort of go global, which is if we think we're going to cure, we assume we're going to cure global warming because California makes a decree about electric cars or something. Well, good luck when China's doing whatever China's doing and India's doing whatever India's doing and whatever developing nation's doing whatever. So I would say the same with the women's rights. Yeah, okay, we'll drive an electric car and we'll focus on our pronouns, but we've got a bigger problem brewing on the other side of the world and focus on that a little bit. Because we're never going to be able to have all women's rights. Good luck with global warming as long as they're burning firewood.
Yeah, you see, go to India and see what's going on over there with the emissions laws and stuff. There's zero.
There's emissions laws?
No.
Right.
You just burn whatever.
Should the UN just make a big master list and we'll just tick off?
I would like,
as we go.
I said it many times that the cities here with their pie in the sky names like Hawaiian Gardens is a dump. Okay, but if you're living in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, and you're looking to relocate, you might go Hawaiian Gardens.
Sounds cool.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, this looks.
They got a casino.
Then you end up in a shithole. I'm saying let's just give out numbers. You know what I mean? Westwood, probably top 10.
I'd say so.
For your people over there.
I'd say top 5.
But now Westwood, all right, it's an all right name. But if you just said to me and I didn't know, would you rather live in Sun Valley, California, or Westwood, California?
It's a coin toss.
Sun Valley sounds nicer. Right, but you would be wrong.
Yeah.
So what we do is we assign numbers. No more names. It's just Westwood, you're number 8. Sun Valley, you're 557. Now we know.
So we just do this like radio markets.
Let's do it with countries.
I live in market 2.
Yeah. We have to do it with countries too now. Figure out, how you treat the ladies, certain labor laws, and tax codes or things like that. And we'll give you a rank.
I don't mind this.
That sounds good.
And we'll know.
Okay.
Canada, what rank?
Oh.
Canada's probably moving the wrong direction because they have that fucking Trudeau asshole trying to shut everything down. But they would have. They're a perennial all-star.
I love parts of Canada. Like you go to Calgary, there's like guys with like "fuck Trudeau" like on their phone, you know. Case.
Oh, you get out to Canada?
I do, yeah.
I haven't been there in a while.
It's quite fun.
Canadians are a weird batch because we're kind of talking about traveling to Canada. When you go to Canada, they fucking shake you down hard.
To get in.
To get in.
Yeah.
They're fucking assholes. They're not polite. They're Gestapo-esque, and they do not mirror what you think of as Canadians.
Yeah.
They are fucking tight. I've been pulled out and told to sit over there and, you know, sit and wait. And I think Mike Lynch got pulled out when they were traveling once. Like, they treat their border and they treat their customs in a very Gestapo-esque fashion. Anyone who's had to do business in Canada, who's had to deal with these pricks, will tell you they're tough. They don't have the kind of laissez-faire approach to coming into their country.
Well, as somebody south of their border, I feel that that's very oppressive.
You should feel oppressed.
I do feel oppressed.
I remember they just get what they tell you all the time. They go, "Don't tell them you're doing business.
Yeah.
Don't tell them
Are you
you're
working
doing business.
here?
I'm
Yeah.
just here for fun. I'm just here for fun." Because if you say you're working, they will fuck you up. So then I got pulled out of line. So, "What's your business here, eh?" And I'm like, just having a good time, just looking around. "All right. Mind if we look through your backpack there?" Opens the backpack, pulls out an itinerary with like 5 days of nonstop 8 a.m.
meeting.
Car picks you up at 8 a.m. Car drives you here. Then there's a drop off. And then you're going. We were selling the Man Show or something in Canada. Me and Jimmy had like 75 things to do in 3 days, you know, and the itinerary was all laid on the couch. Like, just hanging out, drinking a few beers, huh? What's this?
Think of this.
What's this?
What do they care? What's the difference?
Well,
you have to pay taxes.
well, they
Well,
think you're getting
pay.
paid.
Yeah.
So they go, "What's this? Good morning, Quebec. What's this?" You know, on Tuesday, and I'm like, "You don't get paid for that." And they go, "Why wouldn't you get paid? Look
You're
at
on TV.
all the stuff you're doing." I go, "No, you're doing radio, you're doing TV shows, you're promoting. We're just promoting. We're not getting paid." And then she goes, "I don't get it. You're doing all this work. You're getting paid." And I said, "Listen, when Michael J. Fox goes on the Tonight Show, he doesn't get paid. He's promoting something." And she goes, "Who's Michael J. Fox?"
Oh,
and I go, "Are you kidding me?"
Wow.
Boy, are we fucked. We're not going anywhere in this
Celebrated.
we're now there's nowhere to go. We have nowhere to go anymore in this conversation. You do not know. This is just 15 years ago. I had no idea who Michael J.
Should have
Fox.
said Norm Macdonald.
But that's who they only hire those people because it's like all the people that work security. They've never heard of anyone
know.
ever. They'll
Right.
never let anyone through. Like, "Hey, that dude from now."
Yeah. You never got recognized at any of those border crossings?
Or maybe they
That
did.
wouldn't have helped.
Maybe they did recognize
Like,
me.
we don't want
They
this guy.
heard me talk about him too many times. I don't know. All right, Jim.
Well, somebody else who would very much not like you to move away is the Californians here. Many people out here have been moving out of state, but billboards are kind of mysteriously popping up in LA and San Francisco. They're warning residents against moving to Texas. Have you seen these?
No.
Newsweek reports that nearly 250,000 residents have left California between 2020 and 2021, mostly because of lack of affordability. Almost 1/3 of those are moving to Texas. But here, I'm putting up a billboard right now. The billboards caution residents against moving to Texas. They say things like, "Don't move to Texas." And
I thought that was a show.
no, this is,
That
it
seemed
says
like a video game.
the Texas Miracle died in Uvalde.
But like Usher's new album.
Right.
Yes.
So they cross out "Don't mess with Texas" and they put "Don't move to Texas." Lack of affordability is the biggest push behind Californians leaving. Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, found that the living wage for an adult with a child in California, the living wage, $84,000. And in Texas, it's less than $60,000. But we don't want people
So you need to
leaving.
get to 84 to live.
That's right.
And my average age is 54.
Right.
So we're
So you gotta
30
go. You gotta go where you can
30 grand
survive.
off. But who's
I think Joe Rogan paid for these billboards.
Who's putting the billboards
Well,
up?
that's why the
About
two
this is going to
sources-
work
yeah.
like, oh, we got to boycott Chick-fil-A. All I heard was Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Now
Texas.
I
what about moving to Texas?
Now I went Chick-fil-A. That's all I hear is, oh, yeah, I got to move to Texas.
Well,
You get
that's the
some
thing.
Chick-fil-A.
It's been referred to as mysterious billboards. It doesn't say
Yeah,
paid
who's
for
paying
by
for this
anybody. It doesn't say that on there. So I don't know. I mean,
The Texas Miracle died in Uvalde.
in Uvalde, where the last shooting was. And I guess
Yeah,
the
but-
Texas Miracle, that was not the current governor. Who coined that phrase? I think it was
don't
the
remember that
last
one.
governor of Texas. Let me look it up. But that was like a saying.
But, all right, so listen. All right, I'll go along with you on this, or them, which is, this place, my money will go a lot further, and it's a lot less regulated, and gas is cheaper, and I don't have the fucking government up my ass, and I could afford a house, but there's a chance my kid could get shot at school. And my feeling is they got it out of their system. Now's the best time to move to Texas.
Yeah, like
you know
right
what I
after
mean?
an earthquake, there's not going to be another.
Yeah,
one.
not gonna be another one for 20 years.
No.
But you could also get your kid shot at school here,
That's
or
right.
you could just get shot here. I mean, feel like there's crime here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this was. I think this was a poorly planned statement. I don't know that this is the thing. I mean,
could you make that out? You're driving by this billboard. Do you make that out?
No.
It looks like a show about the school shooting.
right,
Mm-hmm.
right, exactly, like a doc.
Like we literally, I'm not joking. I was with 3 comics. We were leaving the Comedy Store. We saw this billboard last night. One of them goes, "They already made a movie about the school shooting."
Right.
Like literally
yeah.
said that last night.
Yeah, and I was reading.
And we didn't think twice about reading it or anything.
Exactly. I was reading an article about this, and one of the they interviewed like a marketing guy, and he said when you're driving by something, you have less than 3 seconds to make it clear.
Yeah.
Nobody can figure this out when they're driving by.
Feel the same way about the Leinenkugel beer billboards.
yeah.
Like I can't read that fucking fast.
Right.
I've never seen the billboard. What is it?
Leinenkugel beer, like Wisconsin, right?
Leinenkugel has a cursive.
Script, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's even hard to read?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
I
like
gotcha.
Waffle House. I got no problems with.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
read that
yeah.
shit. Even
It
if I
is what
can't
it
get
is.
past waffle, I know that the word under it is house.
Sure.
I know where I'm going. Leinenkugel. It's like it takes a minute, and I can't read fast enough. Plus, I have to use my finger, even in the car, even from 200 feet away. I have to pull the finger out. Yeah, I would think this would be a movie
Or a video game,
or video
Oh, there you
video
go.
game. Yeah, so I drive too fast to read Leinenkugel.
Shandy's.
Yeah.
Speaking of that part of the country, I did get fairly breaking news, a picture and a text just before I got here. My good friend Kristen, who you all met at the wedding, her mom is in town in the middle right now of making Special K chocolate bars because she's making bars for us. And I said, can you please bring another pan so I can bring them to the show? And she said she'd be honored.
Special K bars.
The bars.
How do you do a Special K bar?
Okay, so
Minnesota mom.
obviously the
Minnesota,
two
little
most
fentanyl.
well the two most important ingredients, excuse me, comedian funny man, are cereal and Karo syrup. Or sort of molasses, some sort of a delicious binding agent. And then you're going to go ahead, you're going to mix that with your butters and your sugars. And then you spread just a real, this is the only time I ever use this word, liberal amount of chocolate on top. Let it cool. You cut them up into bars and the people go crazy. I'm trying to enter it in the Minnesota State Fair next year.
What do you think Amir's mom would have to say about this, Brian?
Shut up, Amir. You got it.
Yeah, that's going to live forever.
So I'll bring you some bars.
She's
ASAP.
bringing, and the Special K is.
She likes the Special K one's the best.
What are some of the other ones?
Oh, you can do it with anything.
Oh, you can?
Any type of dried cereal if you mix it with enough Karo. But Special K is like her secret recipe.
I could see
so
that
I'll bring them
working.
in. I'll bring
All
them in. Oh, we have some maybe bad news. I guess I shouldn't editorialize. Leonardo Dicaprio is single again. So I don't know who we feel sorry for or who we don't. The 47-year-old Oscar winner has broken up with his 25-year-old model girlfriend, Camila Maroney, after 4 years of dating. So I guess he waited till her 21st birthday to date. In
Look at
2019.
that pouch on Leo.
Yeah.
I just saw a graph this morning, like it was sent to me in a text group of all the ages of the girlfriends and then like his
Trajectory.
Yeah, his
Yes.
trajectory of age going up. and none of them have like gone over 25.
Wow, yes.
Yes.
And it just stays at the same age.
That's what he likes about those high school girls.
It's like the fourth
insane.
quarter of a Warriors game. Just one goes up and one stays the same.
Yeah.
25, so they've been dating since she was 21. An insider said that they seemed pretty serious. He would refer to her as the girlfriend. She met the parents, but something went south.
Look, eventually you got to talk.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Look at that. It's fucking insane.
That's great. That graph
Dude,
is great.
20. What do you talk to a 20-year-old about?
20-year-old when you're 43.
What the fuck are you doing?
Listen, I can't get contemporary of mine. Contemporaries of mine don't get half the fucking references
Right.
I'm throwing out there. And then what ends up happening is you lose the subject of music altogether. You cannot talk about music
Movies,
because they've
music.
never fucking heard of
Right.
any band that you're ever discussing.
I don't know what K-Rock is.
And
It's like a winter.
they're and at 21, like I get. And by the way, it's not like a 34-year-old woman is a sack of old bones or anything. I mean,
you.
there's plenty of good-looking 35-year-old women for him to date, and he'd still be 10 years plus their senior, right?
Yeah.
We forgot he was 40. What?
44?
47 now.
47.
Oh, this is older. Okay.
47 now.
Remember when I forgot he was with Bar Raphael and she got on all that tax trouble in Israel?
Right. Right.
That's so interesting. Yeah, there's some good-looking ladies up there, and he seems to have a type. Not
Yes.
just the age, but the vibe.
Hot.
Yeah, long torsoed.
Yeah, but what are they? And there's a lot of pressure because you fly. He's flying private with these bitches,
Sure.
so you got to talk.
Oh, yeah.
You know
And
what I
there's,
mean?
yeah. I mean,
Come
what
on,
do you do?
fly, I fly Southwest. I tell my bitch, look, I'm in C boarding group, and you're in A, so
Sorry.
see you in Denver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I had to leave
private,
a girl. I
you
had
got
to
to
leave a
sit
girl
right there.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
Go ahead. No.
No, I had to leave a girl because she didn't know who Balky was. And it
Balky
was just-
Bartokomous?
Thank
Cousin
you.
Balky?
Yeah, I go Balky, and she goes, "Who?" And I go, "What the fuck am I doing here?" And I just was over. I was like,
I
I
get
can't. If you don't know Balky, I'm like,
Because what else do they not know?
Meatballs.
With Meatpost. He's from the island of
Balky,
Meatpost.
but don't be ridiculous.
That's the best opening of a show ever.
It's a really good theme song.
God, that
I
was a
watched
great
that
show.
shit in my loneliest, darkest days. They would play it. I remember they're rerunning it or something, but I just remember Friday nights it would come on like ABC, and then I'd have nothing to do, and I was sitting in my first apartment. Everyone was out getting laid and having fun, and I'd just sit home and see what Cousin Balky was up
Dude,
to.
he was great. Whatever happened to Larry, the character? I never saw him
yeah.
in anything after that.
Yeah.
He kind of, well, they had a poor man's version of Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari, which is one of them kind of went off to do something, and then the other kind of worked, you know what I mean, but never did
water.
what the other one did. In this case, Balky sort of went on to work, and the other one did nothing. Like,
Right.
I've never seen that person again, but it's still, the chasm between the two careers is still the same. But Tom Hanks is, to the moon. I don't know what happened.
He guest starred on a bunch of stuff. Law and Order, Succession. He had 2 episodes.
Oh, the Cousin
Mark
Balky's.
Baker.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so
well,
good
I
for
stand
him.
corrected. And Peter Scolari died.
I think he died. Yeah, because he was on Girls. Remember, he was.
He was on Girls.
Lena Dunham's
That's
father
right.
on Girls.
That's right.
If at some point we want to play the Perfect Strangers theme song, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
We should now.
It's
Now we have to.
good.
Yeah.
Adam, do you remember that? This was probably 8 years ago. There was a pilot for some martial arts show that they were doing, and it was me and Stephen Bonner were hosting it. And then you came in for a segment, and you and I reviewed 70s kung fu movies.
Perfect.
Do you remember that?
Yes. Yes, I remember that. We shot that out here.
I
We
thought it
shot
was
that
somewhere around here, wasn't
not
it?
too far from here, but I don't even know what we were.
I don't know what came. Because I kind of lost touch with those dudes. But it was. I mean, they were your friend. Were they like? Because they called you in as a favor. I remember. I was like, how the hell did we get Adam for this? I was like, how did he agree to do
we
this?
Broke down some old kung fu movies.
It was pretty fun. You were fucking hilarious. I remember that. I was like, oh
my
my
job,
god,
son.
I'm out of my league over here. And I was sitting there, I go, yeah, that guy's he's old. And it was like a weird wheelchair guy kicking some other guy's ass. It was absurd.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was funny. I thought that was the best segment in the thing, and then I thought then they cut it up all weird. I was like, what the fuck? Why didn't you just highlight?
I've
that
done
Adam
so many
segment?
fucking projects that I can't keep anything straight anymore.
That's crazy.
But
Yeah,
that
I was like-
happened.
Yes, that did happen. And
Yeah.
it was shot in
was like 8 years ago,
Burbank,
10 years.
about 2 miles from here.
Right.
All right, we'll play.
Yay.
Play the beginning of Bosom.
Perfect
Perfect
Strangers.
Strangers. Sorry.
I remember later on, like he was the newspaper writer, and he'd open the paper
Yeah,
and
yeah,
look
yeah.
at first page 1, like, oh no, open up to page 8, and there's an article.
And they were at a Cubs game in
Yes,
the late
all
one.
Chicago.
Yeah, but that young bitch didn't know any of it.
Yeah, dude. I said Balky. She goes, huh? And I said, this is
That's
over
it.
with.
That's
Yeah.
it. Finish the blowjob, and then we're done. Then we're done. And I'll fantasize about who I want to fantasize about
Yeah.
because it's my blowjob.
right.
All right, let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
Last but not least, there's the Jordan Harbinger Show. A different kind of sponsor for this episode, the Jordan Harbinger Show. If you're a fan of fascinating podcasts with interesting people, you should definitely check it out. There's an episode for everyone, no matter what you're into. Jordan talks to Scott Adams about persuasion in a world where facts don't matter anymore. Or you can go inside the dark world of wildlife trafficking. You'll always find something useful to apply to your own life, like routine changes to boost your productivity, or slight mindset tweaks that change how you see the world. I enjoy the show. Jordan's been on a few times, been on me and Dr. Drew's show a few times. Interesting guy. So I think you're going to enjoy it as well. You can search out the Jordan Harbinger Show. That is HARB as in boy, IN as in Nancy, GER, and you can get it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to finer podcasts. It's a Jordan Harbinger Show. Adam Ray can be found doing comedy at the Tempe Improv tonight through Sunday, so check that out. Amir K. Off Cabot Comedy, that's September 16th and 17th as well. And podcast, Salty Locks, available wherever you listen to finer podcasts. And Amir Comedy, amircomedy.com is where you can go for all live dates. I'm going to be in Austin at Cap City Comedy Club coming up September 9th and 10th. And you can go to Carolla.com for all the live shows out there and check out the new book, Everything Reminds Me of Something. So, till next time, it's Adam. For Adam and Amir and Gina and Bald, say it. Mahalo.